name is Savannah. I'll be your driver for today.
Thanks, Savannah.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, give me a countdown from 3.
3, 2, 1.
That'll wake you up a bit, right?
Wow, that was awesome.
So that was Sarah in the F-150 Lightning at the Detroit Auto Show. Beautiful Detroit City. The Jeep Duck was there. Thank you for the invitation to the North American International Auto Show. It was
AKA
a fantastic
the Detroit Auto Show.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was.
And we saw a lot, and we're going to share that with you. But let's just start with the Ford F-150 Lightning because Sarah rode in it.
Yep.
What was it like?
It was terrifying. Of course, that was just a demonstration of being able to put the pedal to the metal. But the interior was very roomy. I was in the front seat. I had a lot of space in the passenger side. And I did look in the back seat and looked like there was plenty of room back there if you were packing your work crew into the truck. It was nice. And as you can see, it will get you to work in a hurry if you need to.
You load up the guys, say, hold on, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. We're getting to the job site. So one of the cool things about it is that the outside just looks like an F-150 because that's the way Ford did it. They gutted an F-150 essentially of all the gas and transmission and stuff and put in electric components.
Right.
Pretty cool. Big frunk and lots of power outlets to run your tools. Really neat truck. It should start, Sarah, about $40,000. The initial offering was way higher for the first few people. But Ford's hoping they can get that down somewhere around $40,000 in the future. So that'll be a big get for people who need a good work truck.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's one thing we saw. There's a lot more we saw. And there was
Yes.
more than electric cars there. We're only interested in electric cars.
Yeah, there was way too many tailpipes.
Way too many
for
tailpipes.
me, but we tried to find the gems, the electric gems in there.
So let's start with the concept cars because concepts are just a big part of the Detroit Auto Show.
Yeah.
And they want to show you what could happen, what the possibilities are. And we start with Lincoln.
Yes.
And here you go, the Lincoln Star. It looks like just a really glamorous, big SUV. But one of the cool differences is the hood. It's glass, and you can look down in there and you see nothing but space. One of the beauties of electric cars is you have all that extra space where there used to be an engine if you have the motor like in the back between the wheels.
Right, so now you got plenty of space for your luggage, plus you can see it, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
And a really, really pretty concept. There's Sarah taking a picture. You see her.
Yep.
And then, of course, the doors, the suicide doors they call them, they open straight out, and you can see nobody's going to park anywhere near you.
It's not like the BMW i3's little tiny narrow doors that you could fit anywhere, so yeah, that's something.
Yeah, that's what we drove to the show, was the i3 with little tiny clown car doors. And
But it gives you a great view of the interior, which is basically a VIP lounge on wheels. So
like flying
that
first
reclining
class.
chairs in the back seat.
Yeah,
Pretty
first class
fancy.
flight on wheels. So that's that one. Then the next one, the L100 from Lincoln. Oh my goodness.
Woo.
I don't even know what to say about this. And we walked around it like 12 times. Like, if I'm seeing this right, then the whole side of the car is opening up, right? Is that right?
Blossoms like a flower.
Right. And then the top opens up. It gives me the appearance, they didn't let us get close enough, that you could stand right up in it. And again, it's a lounge on wheels.
Yes.
Under the hood, you had this cool glass hood ornament, but it was under the
like that
glass
part.
hood. Light
Yes.
effects in the wheels. Just a really cool, odd car that'll never make production like this.
No, of course not. But I love the idea, if you've got frunk space and all of this in these electric vehicles, the throwback of having a hood ornament, but having it be in like the most futuristic car, I thought that was a cool.
That was a nice effect.
And I would like to see more hood ornaments. I missed them. I wish we still had them. So maybe we can bring them back.
And that's why you go to the Detroit Auto Show. And then Buick with the Wildcat. No, not that Buick Wildcat, not the
Oh, that one wasn't
1966 four-door, but the really cool concept sports car Buick Wildcat. Very wide stance, big wheels. It's slated to come out maybe 2024 or 6, somewhere in that area. And we'll have more information when it gets there. But as a concept, not much to talk about, but really pretty to look at.
It was very pretty to look at.
And then one of the cooler crossover / SUVs was the Chevy Blazer. It was there. Beautiful.
I see them on the road now, and I think that should be electric. It
should be
looks like
electric.
it should be electric. And now it's
Now
going
it
to
will
be.
yeah.
Yay!
And that's going to come in 4 different trim packages. It's going to start somewhere around 44,000, go up near 70. This is the top one, the SS. Super sporty, super awesome. We could only get so close to it. You can see the glass boundary saying, hey, stay away. but even from a distance, you could tell it's a gorgeous vehicle.
Yes, beautiful. And I like that it
Oh, there's
is-
Sarah again taking a picture.
It's comparable to the current Chevy Blazer. It's going to compete with the Mustang
Mach-E, probably, yeah.
right? But now people who have Blazers, it will be easy. If you have a Mustang ICE engine, the Mach-E is a totally different beast for you. So I like that they took the Chevy Blazer and electrified it. I think that was smart.
Yeah, smart. Cool. They did the same with the Equinox. We did see that, but we had to get out of the showroom early because the president was coming. And although we had excellent press credentials, apparently they're not good enough for the White House.
Yeah, they said we had to have White House clearance, and we were like, well, how do we know if we do? Maybe we do. And they're like, you don't.
Yeah, if you have to ask, you don't. Okay.
Bye.
Now we're going to move on to some of the more affordable electric offerings from Chevy, and that means the Bolt EUV family car
Yep.
and the Bolt EV, which is kind of a small car. It is a four-door, but we'll show you what the inside looks like and everything else. But starting with the EUV, as you can see, it's a crossover size car. It's got plenty of room in the back for people, plenty of room in the front. It gets pretty good range, 247 plus miles. Not too bad, really.
Not bad.
I mean, for an EV, for the price that they're talking about, which is like $27,000, which means if you have a tax credit that applies to this at the dealership, you might be walking on there for about 20 grand.
Right.
Not bad at all. So then we can move on to the Chevy Bolt, which is the perfect car for who?
If you have not gotten your first EV and you want one that has decent range and that you'll be able to drive back and forth to work, you might need to take your family. If you have a family, you want to take them with you. This is a great starter EV.
Absolutely.
It's just it's a nice car. I did sit inside of it. It's not much different from, your cars you drive nowadays, except that it's electric. And so it's a great transition. If you want to start getting into the electric car, this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, you get over 250 miles of range with the Bolt. It's a very sharp little car, comes in lots of different colors, and it costs like $25,000 plus, which means after a tax credit, if they ever work out how that'll apply, you might be under 20 grand in a really good electric car. And you might remember they had the problem with the batteries, with the LG batteries catching fire in certain circumstances. Well, now that that's been rectified, they won't make that mistake again.
Right.
This will probably be the safest electric car ever made after a $3 billion recall. And the battery company paid for most of that recall. So anyway, the Chevy Bolt is a winner. Here's some video of you testing the inside front and the inside back. Enjoy.
Yep. So first I'm going to get in the driver's seat. It's pushed all the way back, so that's way too far back for me. But there's your console. Front to back cup holders. Always one of my favorite configurations, as long as there's enough space there. Okay, and a comfortable drive. Now I'm going to go in the back seat and see how comfortable I would be in the back seat if we were on a long drive, like if we were driving back to San Diego. Okay, so I'm sitting in the back of the Chevy Bolt. I wanted to see how the back seat looked. Chad took a little bit of video, but the seats in the front were pushed all the way back, so there's just a tiny little bit there. But I moved the driver's seat up to where I would be, the position I would have it if I was driving. So then I got into the back seat behind. So you can see there's a goodly amount of space between my knees and the back of the driver's seat. So yeah, I'd be comfortable in here for a long trip. Keep in mind I have really short, stubby legs, and they have lots of Rugen hair on them, so I feel at home. Okay. Now let's talk about some trucks. We already talked about the F-150. What else we got?
Yeah, so Chevy's got the Silverado coming out, which you can see is a gorgeous vehicle. Again, not truck people, us. We're not truck people. But if we were, this would get a serious look because it's just a very attractive car. And some people say, well, it looks a lot like the Avalanche. So what? Avalanche was a fine truck.
Yeah.
But the Silverado is geared to become one of the top selling trucks when it hits production because of, well, one, the price. They're coming in somewhere around $40,000, which is a good price point these days for a brand new truck. But this one will also have electric outlets all over the place. It'll have huge storage opportunities and a big frunk and just luxury, but a truck.
Right.
So that's one of Chevy's offerings. But we know what GMC is good for, and that's really, really, really big trucks.
Big
Big
trucks.
trucks. Enter the Hummer EV, slated to come out within the next year or so. This thing is so massive. I mean, it's
monstrous.
It's a big truck. And there wasn't much to say about it because it's not ready to go. We don't have any details to share with you about it, nor would we, because they'll probably change.
That's the hard part about these things that aren't in production yet. You just don't know where they're going to land with it.
You say, Chad, Sarah told me, and then it's not true. Yeah. But now the Hummer truck, that's already in production, already being sold.
Yep.
In fact, they just stopped pre-orders at 90,000 because they want to catch up to production. Yep. So anyway, here's a look at that. We got some inside footage. The seats are really, I mean, again, I hate to say this about a truck, but it's a luxury vehicle on the inside, leathered out, decked out, just really pretty. The seats have this really cool branding on the back where it's like a metal strip that says Hummer. Excellent displays all the way around.
Yeah.
Sarah, what did you like about the outside?
I mean, it's giant. I feel like if I'm in that, I can do anything. I can go anywhere. It's so cool.
And you can. And you got the big front so you can bring everything with you when you go anywhere.
Perfect.
And do anything. Now the Hummer truck starts about $108,000 and you don't see many on the road, but there are some on the road. And you will occasionally come across a video on YouTube of someone doing a deep dive on there. So if you have a whole bunch of money and you want to go 329 miles range, way too fast, that would be the Hummer. There's a couple other cars that we found that we walked around and did a little bit of talking about them when we were there. Cars that are in production or soon to be on the road. Have a look. All right, so you know what this is, right? You see these on the road and you turn your head because it doesn't look like a boring crossover. This is the Kia EV6 right there. Super sharp. One of the fastest charging cars out there, by the way. So if you're looking to have a car that charges really fast, that fits a family of 5, that's striking to look at. Don't get this color, please. I mean, it's like the color of a rainy day, but what a gorgeous, gorgeous automobile it is. Volvo C40 electric, very sharp again. There's a lot of them in this size, this crossover size. I'd put the Lyriq in that. Now the Lyriq's a little different because, hey, it's a Cadillac. So it's like it's that same size, the same deal, the SUV / crossover, but it's luxury because it's Cadillac. Jay Leno did a nice review of this recently on Jay Leno's Garage channel, YouTube channel. And this guy's driven everything from the 1800s up and he loves it. This is the one I think my dad should buy because he likes his Cadillac and this should be his next one. But Dad, don't get it in this color. I'm tired of seeing gray colors. Let's get something like blue or red or something. Like for example, the BMW over here, the iX. Now that's a color. That's gorgeous. Nice deep red with dark accents. I mean, if you're gonna have this thing for 10, 15 years, because they last forever, electric cars need very little maintenance, why not get something that's not terrible to look at? I mean, let's be serious. The Lyriq is a gorgeous vehicle, but that color's terrible. Okay, that's all for my color rant. I mean, I don't even know how I became this way, or aesthetics matter to me anymore. I guess I've gotten spoiled in my older age. So that's our trip to the Detroit Auto Show. Again, thank you for the invitation. Before that, Sarah, just a few days before that, we had flown to San Diego for the Fully Charged Electric Show.
Yes.
And if you want to see a video about what we found out there, click the video right over my face. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. That was Detroit Auto Show 2022. See you next year, 2023. Thank you, Chad and Sarah.